Hello, guys. This is the so-called Northern Cemetery in Manila. A cemetery that's inhabited by people, and in short, this is a slum. There are actually quite a few cemeteries like this. In general, living in cemeteries is a fairly common phenomenon here in Manila. I've seen people living in boxes, on their bicycles, and up in trees, but this is definitely the first time I've ever seen people living on tombstones.
There are cemeteries like this where no one lives. I mean, if you go to Lawala Cemetery, you will see that it is empty. Maybe it's a different plot. I accidentally went there once thinking that it was this cemetery and there was absolutely no one there. I didn't see a single person. But if you go around the city, you will find that the cemeteries are indeed quite populated. Maybe even more populated than this one. There's a big cemetery near the airport which looks more like a slum. But it's the largest cemetery in Manila.
This cemetery turned slum has everything. For example, here is something that looks like a casino. The guys are playing card games for money against niches in the wall meant for urns. And these niches are something like a hotel. If you stick around and play long enough, then you can stay here for the night.
There are niches that they put urns in. It's a sort of columbarium and they sleep in the niches like that, like a hotel. Over there is a ladder, a step ladder that they used to climb all the way up to the top. And once they have climbed up, they find one to sleep in.
So they're capsules.
Yeah, a capsule hotel.
What's more, most of these are not old. A lot of them have been built fairly recently. This burial here happened quite recently, 2022. Sorry guys, it is raining a lot today, so the picture might be a little bit blurry. But look at this, we're in a cafe. The TV that they have is great. The food they have is great. Hello. And there are two buried people. But as you can see, the lids of the tombs they were buried in are a great surface for making food. These cemeteries began to appear in Manila in the middle of the 80s. And since then, they've been growing constantly, like the capital of the Philippines itself.
What's going on?
Every strong typhoon that devastates coastal Philippine villages and towns drives tens of thousands of immigrants into the capital, and the last of these mass migrations was in 2014. Do you live here?
Yes.
How many years?
Almost 23 years.
23 years, so that's your whole life?
Yes.
Yeah? And your family, they live here too, right?
Yes.
Yeah? And how many people are in your family? 1, 2, 3, 4? This is your whole family?
Six.
6, uh-huh. Okay guys, this is the bedroom, and I know that it's a little dark, but I really hope that you can see it. There's the tomb here, and here is the set of drawers. And up here are more of their things. And here they have space for a lot of urns. You see them over here.
Bam, bam, she wanna flick for the gram. Thoughts her baby sobbing who I am, so she wanna do it all on care like.
This is truly incredible, guys. I have definitely never seen anything like this in my life. This is so new to me. Here is some food on top of a tomb. And here's a fan. This used to be an internet cafe, right?
There is nothing here.
Are you American? Can I ask,
No, I'm not
what's
American.
your name?
My name is Stas.
Stas?
Yeah.
How old are you?
39. 39. Yeah, 39. And what is your name?
Leon.
Leon. And how old are you?
11.
11. You speak English very well.
1.
1. I understand. You're 11. Yeah. Goodbye, girls.
Goodbye. Goodbye, American.
People are very friendly. I'm not American.
You are American. Or Russian.
I'm
She
Russian.
says so.
Guys, look at this. This is actually a Wi-Fi vending machine. And I guess this is here in case someone rises from the dead and wants to access the internet. They can just throw a coin into this slot and get Wi-Fi. But all jokes aside, the locals around here use that machine to get access to the internet. Hello? How many people live here?
I don't know.
No? You don't know how many people? You don't know.
No one knows.
No one knows. According to estimates, at least 6,000 people call this cemetery in the north of Manila home. It could be 40,000 because they have never done a census here, but many of the families living here have been here for more than a generation. The crypts are being inhabited, developed, and more residential and commercial premises are being added to them.
Yeah.
It's very dark in here, guys, but there are 2 tombs. There's also a cross, which you probably can't see. There's also a bedroom down here. And here they have supplies for a cafe, a refrigerator for food. This is the most unusual room. In general, these are the most unusual slums that I have ever been to. Oh, wow.
Many of the crypts around here have functional sewage. There are also showers if you take a closer look.
So everything carries on as normal,
it's pretty
right?
normal as can be. Over here is a shower. We can see it in this corner. There is a toilet and a shower. It's all pretty normal.
Oh, yeah, it's a bathroom. The toilet, the shower, and on the right, some recently buried bodies. A married couple. Look at this, guys. It looks like some kind of ordinary or even a beautiful street. Whatever you think, it's a normal street, right? But on either side of this normal street, there are crypts. There are graves. If you don't know that the houses on the left and right are crypts, then you won't realize at first that this is a cemetery. And I see that there's even an address here. This is Street 23, right? This is the main avenue. Do you have delivery here? Can you order food and they bring it here? Yeah?
Yes, you can.
There are a lot of children who live in these slums. Hello? Hello, guys.
Hello.
Do you have computers here?
Yeah.
Do you play games?
Yeah.
So even though it is so strange here, they still have public transport and they
There's
still
a
have their
cafe.
shops. There's even a cafe. Yeah, that's right. So this is a pretty normal neighborhood. A month of living in a cemetery. No, I mean a crypt. Costs about 5,000 pesos, which is just under $100, $90 roughly, which means that it's even more expensive than in Tondo. It turns out that living in these slums is prestigious, as strange as it might sound, and from many areas of Manila, of course we are talking about other slums, but they would be more than happy to move to the cemetery, but they don't have enough money.
There is even a parking lot here for residents who have cars.
Yeah, I saw one parked over there. It was a Jeep, I think.
And there are normal cars everywhere.
Yeah, there are even a couple down there. This car here looks like a pretty normal car, right? I mean, it's not a cheap car and it's in pretty normal condition. Well, there's a bit of damage, but it's fine. The owner of this car lives, as I'm sure you figured out, in this crypt over here. But the question's why he lives in a crypt, and not in a house. Because it's normal to live in a crypt around here.
At least the neighbors are quiet.
Yeah, you're right. There's no chance of them playing loud music in the middle of the night. See, there's even a water filter here so people can have clean water, right? Is this a filter?
That's what it is.
That's cool. Really, I think that everything here has been arranged in a way that's quite cool. Now let me go inside and show you around. Look at this. Here, this is a washing machine over here. Hello, ma'am. May I come in? No? Okay. But everything looks pretty clean in here, and this is a solid power supply. And over here we have a tomb. Thank you, ma'am. Look at this. Here we have a 2-level crypt, and this is a staircase that goes to the 2nd floor. And upstairs, I think, is a bedroom. Look, you can see the curtains. And over here are some really big crypts. And this house, it's a mansion, right? I don't think that we can really call this a house anymore. It is a mansion. And it looks like this is a more expensive cemetery, right?
I think
An
so.
elite area. This is the Chinese part of the cemetery.
This is the most expensive cemetery in Manila. I think it costs around, I don't know, but a crypt here is expensive. But the Chinese are the richest, so it's fine for them. They can afford it.
And look at this one over here, guys. This is a 2-story house, and you would never guess that it is a crypt. It doesn't look like a crypt at all. There are some really beautiful bushes and flowers growing outside, and the windows are also very beautiful. Look at them, guys. They also installed a balcony so that the deceased can come outside and get some fresh air. What else?
They have a bathroom and everything.
Ah, and there's a door there, yeah. And you can see a shower there. Look, there's even a sink there. So we're in the crypt, and here there is a sink for people to wash their hands in, although the water doesn't work. And in here, a toilet, my friends. A toilet in the crypt. In the crypt, a toilet. And here we have a kitchen. And they even installed power outlets here in the wall. It's very convenient that there are 2 sockets, so that the body in each tomb can charge their phone. The fact is that in China, it is customary to burn money, and also paper houses and cars together with a deceased person, because they think that the deceased will need them in the afterlife. But here in the Philippines, the Chinese community went further. Here they build giant mansion-like crypts for the dead. Over here, my friends, we have a crypt for one family, and just have a look at that, how big it is. I think it's about, just from looking, the area of 500 to 600 square meters. A huge mansion in the middle of a cemetery. If you didn't know that you were in a cemetery, you would think that you are in an elite area filled with villas, and all around them people park their expensive cars. All right, guys, here's an example. A mansion that's been done in a modern style. A balcony made of glass. I mean, look at that. They also have these massive window doors so that the people who live here can have a beautiful view. But this isn't actually a mansion, it's a crypt. But it's been built to look like some kind of fancy villa, am I right? Naturally, the people who live in slums like this, who, as a standard, need to live with a few people to a room, they can't help but be envious of these palaces. The Chinese try not to let outsiders into their part of the cemetery, but that doesn't always work out. Generally, the North Cemetery was considered a privileged space before it turned into a slum. It is where the rich and famous were buried. Here, for example, is the grave of the former president Raymond Magsaysay, who was highly respected, by the way. This is the grave of the former governor general, yeah?
Yes, Francis Burton Harrison.
He ruled the Philippines back when they were an American colony, but more importantly, it is still customary for Freemasons to be buried in this cemetery.
This is the Masonic part of the cemetery where mostly American Masons are buried.
I am sure that you have all probably heard about secret Masonic societies before, the ones that control the world. Well, in the Philippines, these secret societies are barely a secret at all, and they do control Filipino politics, which I will tell you all about a bit later. And I will even show you Masonic burial sites.
She got cheese, she got smile, she got business on the side, she got G's for them guys, when the baby out of town.
The people who live in this cemetery are incredibly hospitable, and almost everyone tried to get us to come with them to their graves, or, well, at least treat us to something.